What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Simple Minds. And we're returning to the 1979 album Real Cacophony. And the next track is Naked Eye. So this often refers to a distinction between what one can see with your eyes simply biologically versus what you can see with binoculars, with a telescope, with a microscope, with a scale or a scope of sight or vision that is distinct from the normal human eyes. So yes, naked eye, in fact, I think it's often used in regard to macroscopic entities, something like the moon. It's like, well, I can see that with my naked eye despite it being so very far away. Or indeed the stars, which are so bright or so massive that even without a telescope you can see them in the night sky, presuming you live in an area where there's not a whole lot of light pollution. But yes, I don't imagine that it will be about astronomical or microscopic phenomena on a scientific level, but it could relate to some form of vision, be that figurative, meaning emotional vision, or interpersonal vision, where you can see something clearly without having to investigate or, put on some eyewear, again, whether that's metaphorical or otherwise, that allows you to see more clearly. So yes, I do wonder if we're dealing with metaphor about vision, or indeed whether we're talking about someone's naked eye in a more literal sense. But I'll see what I can catch on a first listen. This is Simple Minds. The track is Naked Eye, and it's from their 1979 album Real Cacophony.
You can come inside, come into naked eye.
Madness, sheer insanity, and definitely seemingly some intentional dissonance, uncomfortable sort of sonics, but also zany and a bit fun and wild at the same time. Definitely an unusual song, maybe not one that they would have played at concerts in years after this, or at least that would be my expectation. But I do like music that's a bit outside the lines, a bit unusual, maybe even a bit transgressive. I don't know if this is quite that, but it's certainly music that's not meant to be catchy, like you're gonna hum the melody because it's such a simple and sweet melody. It's really bizarre. And yeah, even the lyrics, it felt at first like it was just a handful of phrases being repeated and sort of said in rapid succession, but as the song went along there were more moments, and it seemingly not in the chorus, but maybe not even the verses, sort of in these in between moments where he was saying some phrases that weren't repetitions, but fundamentally it's like it's dark outside, you can come in, and it, like at first the kick drum almost sounded like someone knocking on a door. And so I'm envisioning, some sort of dwelling, some house where it's like, oh, you can come in, but maybe like the person saying that can't see very well because it's very dark. But then I thought he was saying like come into the naked eye, which is already a bit of an abstract expression. And then there were some other lines where it was like I wasn't quite hearing them clearly, but it felt like it was going beyond just that initial dynamic, whether again it's more literal about someone coming into a building or coming into someone's sight, like come into my naked eye. So yeah, I don't really know what's happening lyrically or sonically for that matter. It was really like, bizarre keyboard line again with a bit of dissonance and a bit of like frenetic energy where it felt like we were almost, meant to be a bit uncomfortable or off balance. So yeah, just a wild and zany tune. And even compared to Life in a Day, where I said, oh, this is kind of like Roxy music, where it's, it's really eccentric and kind of out on its own and very creative. Like that was all true, but it feels like this is those phrases, but meant in a different way. Like, this didn't give me Roxy music vibes. It gave me, like, let's make an insane experimental track that's just a bit fun and wild. So, yeah, definitely unusual. Not in a bad way, again, but in a way where it's like, what did I just listen to? What was that? So, yeah, again, I like music like that. I listen to punk rock where some punk it's like more melodic or it's, like kind of early 80s gritty, like hardcore punk. But there is some punk that's just like, it's very bizarre, very out there. And this kind of had a bit of that vibe. So, yeah, just a wild track. Curious to hear what people have to say about this. Thank you again to Phil for providing the larger Simple Minds category, or catalog rather. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.